Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Portsmouth Coffee Talk. And good morning, Leah.
Good
Thank
morning,
you for
James.
joining us this early morning. And the curling is still out, but we're going to continue. We're going to do a few hot topics here.
Uh-oh. Something's going wrong here. I apologize.
Oh,
It's
okay.
me,
I
James.
thought it was me. I was
No.
hearing my voice again, but anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and let me do something here. But we're going to start with local. Am I still hearing the echo?
No, I'm not hearing it, but you're a little low. Your voice is a little low.
Okay. Seem like I'm still hearing the echo, but we'll continue. Um, and I'll work on that. So just make sure you like and subscribe us today. And I'm gonna put up this picture here.
Ah, yes. And don't forget to tag me, James, so it'll be on my page, please.
Okay. So I'm gonna put that up, and while I'm trying to tag you, go ahead and talk about that event that we had Saturday.
Wonderful. Thank you, James. Um, Boy, it was with great pride Saturday that we celebrated the renaming of the first block of Portsmouth Boulevard, formerly Key Road, formerly Gosport Road, in honor of Coach Horace S. Savage Jr., a man who stands as a living testament to perseverance, mentorship, and community devotion. Coach Savage is now 100 years old, and uh, his daughter had an idea of having the street named after him, and I went to work and I pulled together a team of individuals. We worked diligently to make this street naming happen. We were very pleased with the number of people who turned out, especially Congressman Bobby Scott on yesterday to speak on behalf of the works that Coach Savage has done in his 100 years. He can truly say, "May the works I've done speak for me," because he's done so much within our Portsmouth community, within the educational community, within the civic community, within the cultural community. His family, the Salvage Tucker family, were instrumental in developing the Truxton community. This is where the street naming took place. His grandfather, Tucker, was considered the mayor of Truxton, and that was before Truxton was annexed by the city of Portsmouth. Coach Savage was born on that block of Portsmouth Boulevard in the 2200 block of that boulevard, and he went on to do great things just as his father and his grandfather did before him. Um, Coach Savage was a coach at IC Norcom High School. He mentored Joe Langston. He came in under Coach Hurley, and he went on to have some championships in football as well as in track. It was a variety of members from the community who came out on yesterday. Many of his former ball players were out there, as well as members of the Truxton community, members of his church community, members of Omega Psi Phi. It was just a good group of people. Also, his lodge, Truxton Lodge, was out there as well. So it was a great day. God blessed us with beautiful weather. The weather was great. The turnout was great. And we are just thankful to be able to give this man his flowers while he lives. Um, he's still getting around, moving about, and doing the things that he needs to do. So it was just a good day for us to unveil the honorary street designation. Because we are not a man, but we honored a movement at that time, one rooted in family, one rooted in faith, and an unwavering belief in the strength of the Truxton community, because he's still very active in the Truxton community, although he does not live there anymore. just as he's still active in the Norcom family. Uh, although he's not in attendance there, of course, it's been more than 70 plus years since that time. But he's a great man who's done a lot for so many. So we're just grateful that we had an opportunity to honor him on yesterday in the Truxton community. Should I continue on, James?
Yes, continue. I still having a hard time tagging you in there.
Well, we won't worry about that then. We'll just get on with the show, and then maybe later I can get tagged in to have it on my page as well.
Yeah, and I just wanted to.
We really want to thank everyone who came out on yesterday. It was really a great day, a great day. The mayor, of course, was there. Mark Hugel was there. Elizabeth Simmons, Don Comer, Michael Moore. Uh, so we had those individuals who were present. Of course, Vernon Tillage sent his best wishes, but he couldn't be there because he was having his annual turkey giveaway. So we do thank the fact that he did offer his congratulations to Coach, although he could not be present on yesterday for the street naming ceremony. As we were talking about the Salvage Tucker family, as James is getting his uh, situation set up back there, Mr. Tucker, as I told you before, was considered the mayor of Truxton when Truxton was first formed more than 100 years ago. And he was also instrumental in helping to get the Truxton School started, also raising funds to pay the teachers who worked at Truxton School. Truxton used to be a community, just as you see when you go into Craddock, you see that little community there in Craddock. It was the same thing for Truxton. So it was Truxton was a community within itself before annex. Truxton and Craddock, of course, started around the same time. The Craddock community was established for the whites who came to Portsmouth to work in the shipyard, and the Truxton community was established for the blacks who came to work in the community. So we have such a rich history of over 100 years. And Truxton Historic Civic League is still very active in inducting individuals into the Truxton Hall of Fame. I know I have been inducted. James, I think you've been inducted as well. As you, have you not? I can't hear you. But also, Coach Savage is also inducted into that Truxton Hall of Fame. So we want to thank Chester Benton for keeping that legacy alive in the Truxton community. We want to thank Chester for all the work that he's doing to keep the history of Truxton alive and before the public. It's important that we maintain the legacies of these great communities and these great institutions. James, we have no voice. You have no voice, James. James, you have no voice. I don't think he can hear me or I can hear him. As he's getting his equipment set up, we talked about Horace Savage. I'd like to talk a little bit about Vernon Tillage. On yesterday, Vernon Tillage had his second annual turkey giveaway. The participation of the volunteers was unbelievable. They came out very early yesterday morning in preparation of passing out turkeys to the community. Vernon had
Okay, can you hear me now?
wonderful. Yes, I
Okay.
can.
I just found out what the problem. I was hearing the echo, so we all straight this morning. But go ahead, continue with Vernon Tillage because I think that's another local thing
Yes.
that we had. How many turkeys and meals did he give out?
Vernon gave out 500 turkeys and meals on yesterday.
Okay,
And the people
wow.
started lining up early to get there to get those turkeys and to get those meals. So it was a blessing to see him being a blessing. to the community again this year as he did last year.
And this is an annual thing. Well, he started last year, and then you have some other people that do it. The mayor has a turkey giveaway, and a lot of churches. And I
And the
think it's
fire department,
very important this year, especially with the,
especially this
with everything that happened nationally with the shutdown. And they
exactly.
say it's open again, and people are getting their SNAP benefits, but
Some are
and
going to
now
be
they have to
delayed.
play a game of catch up. So.
Exactly. Some will be delayed. And also, Slim Chief Manubat from the fire department, he will have a turkey giveaway on the 22nd at the fire station number 1, which is fire station on Frederick Boulevard. I mean, on Effingham Street. He will have a turkey giveaway on the 22nd of the month. And
And and
also,
what? Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead.
And
I was going to
also,
say, even though people talk about the SNAP benefits, even though people get the SNAP benefits, they still need help. They still
exactly,
need help, and it's just like the previous years, it probably was just more this year, but the previous years, they always been lines. It's been, un, people have been coming to get those turkeys.
exactly.
Um, and and they've been pretty liberal about giving them out. I don't think it's any really thing you have to sign. Well, I think Vernon, you had to
Vernon, you had
register,
to register.
but nothing like any qualifications you had to meet in order to get that turkey. You could just, as long as you were registered, you could come there and pick up the turkey. And I think that's the way it is with most of the people that are giving away the turkeys. So
Hmm.
even though people are working every day, it's a lot of working people that were coming there to get those turkeys because
Exactly.
probably because of the price
The
of the
price of food.
turkeys, and
Amen.
for you pay by the pound for those turkeys. And if you got a big family, you want a big turkey, so it can get quite
Exactly so.
expensive.
But
Yeah,
also,
so
I should mention also Truth Transformation Ministries. I think they also are giving out turkeys on this year. So there are a lot of, like you said, a lot of organizations who are giving out the meal packets, the turkeys with the little extra trimmings, in order to make this Thanksgiving a great one for families who are struggling at this time.
yeah, and I think it's a great idea that people we always been a giving community, and I think it's happening all over the country. But Portsmouth has always been uh, a city that has groups and organizations and individuals that have always given back, and a lot of times people that get involved, they get grants, or they're getting it from somewhere, and it comes through those people.
Exactly.
There's a lot
Exactly.
of companies that give out the turkeys every year, and I think even the somebody in my community was taking down names. The police department. I don't know if you mentioned that.
No, I
The
didn't
police
mention the police
department was giving
department.
out turkeys
Hmm.
this year as well.
And James, and and I guess I should mention when mentioning Vernon's turkey giveaway, he did that with these sponsorship from Rivers Casino as well. So we need to
Yes.
mention
Okay.
Rivers Casino because Rivers has truly been a blessing to the community. I hear people saying where they're taking away from the businesses, they're taking away from this, but Rivers gives back to the community. They
Yes,
give
indeed.
back
Ever since they've been here. Yeah.
and they make it possible for organizations to have events without having to pay uh horrendous amounts of money in order to have events. So we really appreciate Rivers Casino and all that they're doing within our community as well. And they have a give back portion as well. Not only that, nonprofit organizations can apply to be the organization of the week. I think it's the week where I don't know if it's the week of the month, but the monies, extra monies go towards that organization when they give back to those organizations. So they've been a blessing to the community as well.
Yes, and speaking of blessings, we came back with Portsmouth Coffee Talk last week and had a very spirited conversation with the guests we had on. Uh, it was nice to have
Lauren.
Lauren Burke on,
Yes.
and hometown Louis Bracy and Carl Snowden out of Maryland, who is very active there in Maryland. So, and we talked about a variety of things, and was glad for us to come back. And when you think about it, Leah, you've been here during the whole time. Sometimes I go back and look at all those videos we did starting. I think we started during the pandemic,
Yes.
and the amount of people, and I don't believe anybody has ever turned us down outright. Uh, we might have had some people we asked or sent a note to and they didn't respond, but everybody that we asked always came on, and we've had some heavyweights on. We've covered a lot of things about medical uh, medical procedures, medical
Exactly.
breast
Exactly.
cancer, and
Hmm.
everything, diabetes, and
Mental
so
health. Mental
really
health.
proud of what we've
Yes.
done as far as serving the community, and it's so good to be back. And next week, I'll just throw this out there. If everything goes well, we have scheduled a person. And we always talk about, sometimes we want people that might not exactly think the way we think. We are sort of left leaning, or left of Democrats. Uh, sometimes we will hold our Democrats accountable as well.
Hmm.
But we mostly Democrats, and the person that's coming on next week is he's out of Chicago. He's called the Rooftop Pastor, and he started something in Chicago where he started preaching from the rooftop. And the building he was preaching from, he got raised enough money to turn a hotel that was full of drugs and prostitution into a community center. And now he's even sponsoring a walk from New York to California,
Ooh,
however
that's a
long that
walk.
takes to
That's a
to
walk.
uh, raise money to continue to do things in the service. But he is. I saw a statement, and after we got him on, Cheryl Wilkinson referred him to me, and I called his spokesperson, and then I looked him up later and found out one of the things he said. Well, he wants to make sure that people don't depend on the leftist uh, government services that provide. We want to make sure people, which is a noble thing, but that let me know he's on the right there. So it's going to be interesting to bring him in and have a conversation with him and be able to ask him some questions and find out where he's coming from. But he's doing good work in this community, so we're gonna bring him on next week and have a conversation, find out what he's doing, and probably have some conversations about how he feels about uh, Trump and things that are going on in the country that might be a little different from the way we feel. But that's what we want to do here. And I've been trying, and we put it out there before, Leah, if people wanted to come on and that thought differently from us, wanted to come on and have a
Hmm.
conversation, not an argument, but a conversation or a
Exactly.
debate, whatever you want to call it, and let us know how you feel about if you're on the right, if you're a Trumper. I mean, we've had one of a Trumper on here, and
Exactly. Exactly.
uh, but he didn't come on like he talks on
Hmm.
the social media. But we invite you to come on, and you don't have to agree with everything we say to be a guest on Portsmouth Coffee Talk. We
But
certainly
then,
invite you to
it's
come on.
it's very easy to be anonymous on social media than to
Yes,
put your
yes.
face
I
out
mean,
there and let people see who you are and actually
yeah,
hear what the things that you're saying. So
yeah. If you feel a certain way, show your face. And so how do you feel about Margaret Taylor Greene,
Marjorie Taylor
what
Greene
she's
says
doing now, and
she,
what the president? And here's the funny thing, because people that they ask about it, they say, "Well, I'm glad she's thinking that way," And one of the reasons it is because she mentioned it's hitting her family, you know, and as far as the insurance rates, and she's been very vocal about it. And plus, they're saying she's thinking about running for the Senate. So, sometimes people change their stripes when they want to, you know, make make some moves politically.
And
And
plus,
the feud she's having with Trump, we know how quick Trump
we'll
will
turn
turn
on you,
on you.
honey.
But
Let
all
me
the
tell you,
stuff she's been saying, I saw something what she said the other day. She has no problem maybe trying to make amends with Trump.
well, let me tell you what.
So
When you sleep the snake, eventually the snake is going to teach you who he is. Okay.
yes, yes,
When you deal with people who are doing the things that he's doing, and some of the people in our community who are doing some of the things that they're doing, when you sleep with them and you don't speak up and speak out and you condone what they do, eventually it's going to come back on you. So, she had a revelation.
hmm,
She had a spiritual revival. However, she also is getting threats from Trump's community. And
yeah,
you have to realize too, she's from Dalton, Georgia, I think is the area in which she represents. The red community is hit harder now with the actions that Trump has taken. So I'm sure that she's getting a lot of calls from her constituents who are upset now because of the SNAP cutoff, because of the decisions that the medical insurance piece has really gotten a lot of people upset, and because they're experiencing hardships as a result of decisions that Trump had made. When you talk about 50% tariff on the beef, and you go and you buy some ground beef that you used to pay $8 for, and now you have to pay almost $20 for that same pound of ground beef. They are feeling it. Her constituents are feeling it. So therefore, I'm sure many of them have contacted her in reference to what's taking place in their community as well. Trump thought he was going to hurt the blue community, but he
yeah.
and I realized what you do impacts upon everybody in America. So it's not just the blue states that's going to get hurt. Everyone is going to get hurt by decisions that he's making.
Yeah, I'm like some of the other people as far as her. She will have to do a whole lot to
Oh, she's
sort of
got a lot of contrition
erase
to do,
some of the
that's for
things she
sure.
said. I don't think she's changed her stripes. I think, like I mentioned, she has aspirations for higher office and it's hitting her people. And, you know, the things she has said, it's almost like she's hypocritical now, and, nobody turns that quick like that. But if she is, she would have to do a lot more in order to convince a lot of people, and then it still might not be enough.
Hmm.
But
I,
for people to turn around and vote for her,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she's
yeah.
already losing her MAGA people.
Well, a lot of the MAGA folks are turning against Trump now.
Yeah,
Because of
yeah,
Epstein,
they're
and because of the SNAP, and because of the medical insurance. So a lot of mega people are falling off from the Trump movement now. They're
yeah. You
realizing
see a
that
lot of
they're
those
realizing that he
videos of them burning the Trump hats and
yeah, yeah,
and wearing America First hats, which are
he hasn't
blue.
done hasn't done the things he promised them.
Yeah.
So and he ran on the fact of opening up the Epstein files. And then now he's trying to do all within his power to keep Epstein files buried.
Yeah, but I don't trust that either, because you'll see all that, and then when people go to the polls, they'll go right back and vote for him. Uh, so we still have to, on our end, do everything we can. Just like I always say, we have to start planning right after the election, and especially here locally. Did you? I put a a post on Facebook where I rode past my precinct
Yeah, I saw
maybe
that.
10 days after and saw
Mhm.
all those signs still
Still
there.
out there.
And to me, it might not be a big thing for a lot of people. I can understand throughout the city you have the single signs out there. You might forget and you might have to be notified. But the precincts, most people take them when they leave. But all the precincts, we shouldn't have to call you to let you know your signs
Exactly.
are still at the precinct.
Exactly.
That's something, just that same energy you put out there, so that's all I'm saying. Hold the people, even if you voted for them, hold them accountable. Even something as small as leaving all those signs out there, because it, it
Hmm.
it it wasn't a good look. But like I said, a lot of people think that that's a small thing, but it's those little things that
Exactly.
we need to start holding our elected officials accountable, so they'll know that we are here and we have a voice, and that
Hmm.
they actually work for us. So you have
Exactly.
to start
Exactly.
there. If you let those little things go, then other things will go too.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
that's
I
that's
agree with
just
you.
my take on that, as far as leaving the signs at the precinct. And and there was a lot of different signs. A lot of the
It was. It was.
campaigns
It
left their
was.
signs.
I was surprised at
The
the number of signs when you posted it. I was surprised at the numbers that were out there.
Yeah, it didn't take all of them. The
Uh-huh.
ones that won, the ones that lost. Sometimes the ones that lose will, they won't
Took me a
come.
while
But
to come get them.
yeah, but it's usually just a few. I've never seen that many that
Yeah.
many days after. But anyway, I hope we get it together. Do you feel like we're gonna, we kind of touched on it last week. You feel like we're gonna keep the momentum, because we have a really bad habit here locally to sort of sit on our laurels, and when we have a victory, and it's not until you know into spring we start getting serious again about what's going on. Do you think we're going to be ready for the midterms, because it's going to be just as important, the midterms here locally, in the Hampton Roads area and city of Portsmouth, as it will be throughout the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah. Well, I think that this time around, the blue wave really came through.
Hmm.
What Trump was doing in Washington gave people what they needed to get up out of their seats and go and vote. What people were feeling and experiencing increased the numbers of individuals who came out to vote on this time around. Now, if we don't have uh, that piece up top to get people motivated to come out, I'm just wondering what the turnout is going to be. It's a shame that it has to be something, a crisis going on, to make people get up and vote. And if there's no crisis, then they kind of sit at home and really don't think that it's necessary for them to come out and vote. So it depends on what's taking place in the country, I think, in at that time, to determine whether they're going to show up or not. I'm hoping, I'm hoping that people will show up, but it seems to be, it has to be a motivating factor to get folks out to vote as they should vote. And I think
Yes, indeed. And
the blue wave did it this time. Believe me.
the blue wave did it this time, but the blue wave has to continue, and it's going to have to be
Exactly.
shows. I hope people watch shows like this, and whenever you're in your little groups, and at your churches and your organizations, civil rights organizations, they make sure they keep the importance of this on the forefront for our citizens. Go about your daily life. You can't live politics every day, but
Hmm.
you always have to be aware of what's going on by just watching a little bit of the news every day, and just trying to keep up, with what's going on, especially locally, because you really can approach your elected officials, because you
Hmm.
see them everywhere.
Hmm.
And we have to make sure we do that, because we've gotten away from that in the past, and things happened before we even knew what was going on.
Yeah,
You remember
exactly.
those days?
Exactly. And
We've
the thing
talked
is,
about
like
it
you
a lot
said,
here.
it has to start now. You don't wait until time for the election. And I just hope the next time that we just won't be so mean to each other during the election. That really turned me off this election. I'm telling you, I just
Yeah,
could
I
not.
noticed that, and when you talked last time, and all out of all the elections that you've been through, and we've seen some ugly ones before,
Yes, yes.
this one,
Was ugly. This one was
this one
really ugly.
seemed kind of because it wasn't a real. I mean, it was just a few people running. It was other people running, but they ran unopposed. So it was
Exactly.
just maybe like two main people
Exactly.
running that had opposition, and
And people just
all
got,
the energy
you know,
that went into
and when you start attacking people,
bashing the other candidate,
yes. And not
rather
only the
than
other candidate, but bashing individuals who made a choice to support someone.
yeah.
I mean, we all have the free will to choose who we want to support. And to bash those individuals and to bash their families, like they came after Pastor Marino, I think that was horrible. How they came after him and his family. He has a right to make a choice as to who he has decided he wants to support. And he and
Mhm.
his family were not running for political office. So for individuals to come and bash him and his family, I think that was beyond reprehensible. I'm sorry. It was a bit too much. It was just a bit too much for me.
Yeah, and other people got, and that's why sometimes people don't want to say what affiliation they are. I mean, if they're a Democrat or Republican, or they don't want to speak out too much because they're afraid that people are going to, uh,
Exactly.
you know, feel a certain way about them, or talk about them, or bring their family into it, like you said, which is
Exactly.
unfortunate. Uh, I think the focus should be on the candidates, and what they're going to do for the
E-
community and what they're
e-
going to do for you. Because
Exactly.
you know, uh, after all that was going on, I mean, what they were going to do for you, and all the things that they should have been campaigning on got lost in the middle of all that.
Exactly.
And all you
Exactly.
heard was the negative stuff, and it was the same way statewide. You know,
Hmm.
same way on the state. I think the only
Yeah,
time we got a chance to really hear some policy and things like that was that governor debate. But the one candidate was yelling the whole time, so we couldn't get much in. But it's got to be better, because the people that don't keep up every day
yeah,
and try
yeah.
to be informed. I have a classmate that really the last 5 or 6 years really wanted to get into what was going on, and he admit that before he didn't really get into it, and he really feels that his vote is important, is sacred to him. So he really is trying to know, when these elections come up, what's going on with these candidates. And now he has to go through this maze of negativity in order for him to be educated and make the right choice, you know,
Exactly.
for the next 4 years for somebody. So uh, I hope it gets better, but it's going to always be that element, because some people are hired to blow smoke,
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
and some people, just blow smoke anyway. I mean, they
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
smoke blowers. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, I mean, one good news I think you probably like is the $50 million that Norfolk State has received.
Yes, yes, yes. And not only Norfolk State, but other HBCUs as well
Oh yeah,
have
she's been.
received money.
I remember when we had Virginia State on; they had just received uh, millions of dollars. I was trying to think how much was it? Was it 50, or it was something like 40? I think, or maybe something like that. Virginia State had received. And we just happened to have them on Portsmouth Coffee Talk at the time they received it. And wow, that's going to be a tremendous help to the
Oh my God.
university, especially when
Especially the time when they're taking money away from
yeah,
HBCUs. So
HBCUs and
yes, yes.
things like that.
Yeah, so
And
it's definitely gonna have an impact, a major
yeah,
impact, believe me. So
yeah,
that's a
and
blessing.
I don't think she's finished. I heard a report that she can't give it away fast enough, because as fast as she's giving it away,
She's
the
making
way
more.
she's set up is making money, every day for her. So she's just been good at that, and thank God for her, supporting these HBCUs and everything else that she supports as well. But it's good to see it come to Norfolk State, a
Yes,
local
indeed.
university
A
there.
record-breaking donation of $50 million.
Yes.
Never have they received that much money. So prayerfully that they have a plan in place to use it for the good of the students there at the school, and I think they will. This president, she seems to be doing some good things at Norfolk State. So um, I'm looking forward to some great things happening on the Norfolk State campus.
Yes, I'm sure that because they've been doing amazing things on that campus with what they've been getting from the state and support from the alumni, I'm sure.
And
And
yes, and James, and the amazing thing is, I know you're Virginia Union, I'm Norfolk State. You know how it goes. Behold the green and gold. Behold the steel and what did you say? Behold the what?
for real, the maroon is still.
For real, the maroon and steel. Okay, but but there's a major connection between Virginia Union, Norfolk State, IC Norcom High School.
Yes,
Mr. Scott, because of Union sent Scott to Norfolk State to start
to
Norfolk State
start up
University, the
Norfolk
Norfolk
State.
Division of Norfolk State University.
And
All these
Scott
years,
went to didn't he went to Norfolk?
Virginia Union, I got to go back and get my history, but Virginia Union sent him to Norfolk to start the Norfolk State University.
Hmm.
He was a Norcom graduate.
Yeah, it
So
started out that it was called the Norfolk Division of Virginia
Norfolk Division
Union,
of,
and then it turned
yes,
into Norfolk State.
yes, yes,
They got
yes.
the
So
state status,
yes, so
and
we have a great connection there.
yes, indeed. And with all the HBCUs, I'm glad to see that you know we're surviving through it all.
Mhm.
And it was just strange to get into Trump saying if it wasn't for Asian people, HBCUs wouldn't make it. What in the world? I mean,
He
I,
has,
I think he just throws stuff out there, and we know, it's mostly distraction. And
in my opinion, okay, it's only my opinion. I think the man is suffering a little mental lapse there. If
yeah,
that
but
had been Joe Biden saying half the things that this man is saying, everybody would be called, oh my goodness, he has dementia. Oh my goodness, he needs to go out of office. But this guy is saying some stuff that's just unbelievable, that's coming out of
yeah,
his mouth. And it didn't just start today. It
no,
didn't just
it's
start
been going
today.
on for a long time, and
It's been
we've been
going on for
saying it for a long time. But
exactly.
he's just protected. He's just protected, and even the people around him are doing crazy things. I mean, you know, who would want a 50-year mortgage? I
You
mean,
never pay it off.
just to
You
lower
never
your monthly
your
payments. I mean,
monthly
most
payment.
people won't live to pay that off. It's already you're looking at the 20-year or 30-year, and sometimes people the 15-year where you double up. But
Uh-huh.
a 50-year mortgage, I
You
mean,
never
that's
pay it off.
that kind of commitment. You know,
And not only that, James, the interest that you're going to have to pay as a result of extending this thing out for 50 years. You end up paying
yeah,
double the amount for the home.
yeah. Anything could happen doing. It might sound good at the beginning. You got the
Lower
lower
premiums.
payments, premiums, and all that, but down the road, you add it up. Just that's why people look at their 20-year mortgages, and you just suck it up because you end up paying a lot more. And that's why
Exactly.
some people advise you, if you get to the point with your 20-year mortgage, add $100 or
Under-
add a little bit more to, and tell them
Exactly.
to apply it to the principal, which cuts
Uh-huh.
into the time you pay it off. But a lot of
Exactly.
mortgage companies don't like you to do that or know that, but you have the right to do that. But a 50-year mortgage, I mean, whatever plans they are throwing out there, a lot of it doesn't make sense. And a lot of people are starting to recognize that. And hopefully enough people will recognize it. I hope they go ahead and vote, I don't know, today or tomorrow on to release the files. Now he's saying, yeah, uh, he's in favor of releasing the files because he has nothing to hide. Now, do you think maybe after all this time they have done enough? They've had enough time to done enough to get his name out of
Hide
that,
some things, to
which
hide
is
some
why
things.
he's saying go ahead.
He's hoping it's hidden. He's hoping that it's hidden. But prayerfully, the Democrats have done all that they need to do in order to keep everything intact. Okay. He's hoping
Yeah,
that it's hidden, believe me.
Well, he know the vote is coming. From Congress to you know
And she voted
order
yesterday.
him to
Yeah, yeah,
to release it. So
yeah, the
now
full vote.
he's in favor of. But all that time they were holding out on it. I'm thinking that they've had time to really do whatever they need to do to make sure he's in the clear.
And
Because
well, the thing,
this is the first time he said that.
and the thing about it too, they have to get enough votes to overturn his veto power, because they said originally that he would veto it if it comes to his desk. So if they get enough votes, he may be saying that because if they get enough votes, he would not be able to veto it. So I guess he's preparing himself for whatever is going to take place.
Yeah.
So
And he's just going to depend on his luck he's been having all these
the luck of
years.
the draw, he's been having the luck of
Yeah,
the draw.
to make it through this as well. But
Exactly, exactly.
I mean, that's the craziest thing. It could have been over if he had to just
A
release them,
long time ago.
just like they went after Hillary's records. Her phone records and everything like that, and it wasn't a whole lot to that either. But it didn't take that long for them to get them. It's I I've never seen anything like it. Nobody has, as far as presidency, and but I've always said his time will come. God
Oh,
don't like
yes.
ugly. He might let you
Hey,
go for a while,
go
and
for a while. He'll let you have your run, and then all of a sudden your run comes to an end, and you say,
yeah,
"Wow," you
evil
know,
never prevails
evil
forever.
never prevails. And and James, and as you say that, when you sit back and you see evil things being done to good people, and you don't say anything,
Right.
it makes you complicit to what's going
Hmm.
on, to the things that you're doing to others. But as you say it, eventually you're gonna get caught in that trap that you're putting out there for other folks. Eventually, the web is gonna come back and it's gonna suck you up. So it's just for the longest I said, God, why are you letting these people who are doing such horrible things to other people why are you letting them succeed? I think he's saying, but this is an eye opener for each of you. So I want you all to wake up. I want you to wake up and smell the roses. And once you smell the roses, then I'll work my show. And they're not going to prevail for long. It's not going to prevail for long. So
Yeah, but in the lot, but along the way, a lot of people are being hurt, and
being hurt along the way. You're right.
so we just have to see it. And I hope we come out okay on this, you know, uh, health insurance.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
it seemed like the thing was we got nothing out of the holdout after holding out all that time, and you can look at it both ways. We need to
Yeah.
let the people
Yeah.
uh, be able to get their allocations, but
Yeah.
if why hold out that long and then just have
Well,
a blue wave and then just
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's
But the gentleman from Maryland, what was his name again? Summer
Charles Snowden.
Charles Snowden. But
Mhm.
Charles kind of made me look at I was looking at it how Lauren was looking at it. I really was. I was on board the way Lauren was looking at the whole piece when we talked last week. But
Mhm.
then he gave me a reason to pause and to really give consideration to what other possibilities there were, because he took a totally different approach
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
than Lauren had
It's more
taken.
like the voice of reason because all he
Yes,
was saying
yes.
just look, just I mean it's happening. Well, we know what's happening in our face, but he brought out a lot of things. He said, "Look, we know what's going on. I mean,
Uh-huh.
y'all know it's reasons why they doing certain things,
Exactly,
and it's
exactly.
so what we need to do is be aware of that and make sure we do what we need to do to offset it in the long run
Yeah,
because they have the power to do
they
what
do.
they're doing,
They
and we
run
just
all
have
three
to
branches. Well, I should say Donald Trump runs all three branches. Okay. He runs all three branches. But as you're saying, James, the main thing is that we need to stay vigilant. We need to stay aware, and we need to listen to more than one source of information in
Mhm.
order to make a determination as to exactly what's taking place and what the recourse is going to be. We can't just listen to one thing. As I mentioned one time before, sometimes I pop on to Fox News just to hear what they're saying, and
Yeah.
um, and to see if there are any souls being turned around on Fox News as a result of some of the things that has taken. There are a few souls that's been turned around, but not many. They're still holding strong with Trump, but you still have to pay attention as to what's being said, so that you can be aware. And I wish that we would start voting based upon abilities and what strength people are bringing to the table, and not vote on personalities. We have a history of voting on personalities as opposed to voting on who is the best qualified person to take this office and make this world a better place. We don't do that. We're
I think that
personality
was
voters.
why for years, as far as local elections, you didn't have to declare whether you were Republican or Democrat. And so, but in a lot of times we knew who was Republican, who was
Mm,
Democrat, but a lot of
you
times
know
we
who it is.
didn't. A lot of times we didn't, or we might have assumed, but they never said they were.
Mm-hmm.
So we were electing people that we thought that would do, the best for our communities, and then, I kind of admit when we found out who was Republican, Democrat, that sort of, sort of clouded your judgment
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
But then you had to step back and say, I can't go solely on that, but
Mm-hmm.
at least I'll listen to them and what they have to say. And most of the
Listen to what
time,
they have to say.
their policies didn't match with mine, but it
Exactly.
wasn't based on
Exactly.
solely because they were Republican, or I
Mm-hmm.
knew that
Mm-hmm.
they were Republican.
Yeah.
Especially if they were Trump Republicans. They definitely lost me then.
Yes, Lord. I'm telling you. Take you right on away from here. Well,
Yeah.
James, I just think that we got what, 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
And we can't let these 10 minutes go without talking about the magnificent homecoming that Israel Charles Norcom High School had on the first of this month. It was amazing. All of the activities, right from the events planned by Coach Young for the graduates of Norcom, from the volleyball game to the old school pep rally basketball game, on to the homecoming day and the tailgate. I am getting so many calls from people across the nation who are amazed that this is in high school. When they
Mhm.
saw the area views of the number of people who were out there, it was unbelievable. I thought there were a lot of people last year, but this year I could not even make it from the 80 section to get to the 2000 group section because there were so many people you had to manipulate your way through, and I was stopped every minute. I just had to go and sit down. I was
Yeah.
just it was just
And
amazing. And it
and
was
it grows
peaceful.
every
And it was
year.
peaceful.
And I think the Les Young, who's the AD of
Oh, he's
athletics,
amazing.
and the IC
He's just
Northam
saying he's the
Alumni
principal.
Association, you as president, for all you did, because I think it's so great to have a homecoming and the focus is on a lot of the other sports that we involved with, volleyball. A lot of people don't
Exactly.
even know about the volleyball teams, and we've had some pretty good teams. And the focus is on bringing some of the old basketball players back,
Mhm.
and some of the old football players, and you don't want them playing tackle, so you have
We're having them play
flag
flag.
football.
Yes.
So some of those guys that might be 4 or 5, some 10 years out, that still can
Run a
compete.
little bit. We can run a little bit.
And it was just an amazing thing, and the history of the school, is something that's nationally known, and I think every year it gets more and more press for one thing,
Exactly.
and people
Exactly.
just want to come back, and I was glad to see a lot of the present students
Oh my goodness, we were
involved. I think
there.
in the beginning, you didn't have that many,
We didn't have
because
many.
they saw a lot of the older classes, and they would come, but it wasn't something for them. And now they have a whole section where
A
their
whole
music is
section
being
just for
played,
them.
you
A
know,
whole
uh,
section.
and they are learning to appreciate uh, that they're living in real time in history. Every
Exactly.
day they go to school, they're living history. They're living,
Exactly.
going to a historic school, and they are making history every day that they
Mm-hmm.
can pass on to their children.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
And
yeah,
not only
that
that,
was
and,
amazing.
and on top of the amazing homecoming, we're moving to the championship in football. We won Friday
We
night
won the first round. Yeah.
over Tab. We're in the first round. We're ready to move to the second round. So Coach Hawkins and his team, they are doing an amazing job with our student athletes, our football players, and we're just so proud of all that they're accomplishing as well.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they are doing well in the classroom as well, and
Exactly.
they're being recognized for that. And uh, uh, so often that's not brought up. They want to look at the number. How many yards did you rush? But also tell what their GPA is.
Mm-hmm.
What
Mm-hmm.
they're doing in the classroom, because the athletes that are out there, and that's extra to have to
Mm-hmm.
excel in the classroom and to do what it takes to be an athlete, practice. And some of those guys, they don't just play one sport. They're doing something all year round. They're going from
Exactly.
football to basketball to
The track,
tennis to track
track.
to
Yes.
baseball. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and still keeping up with
Exactly.
their grades, because that's definitely going to help them go to the next level of education. So
And
proud of my IC Norcom
yes, yes. And James, on this
school.
show, we got to get Officer Redwood up here for the NJROTC. He will retire this
Yeah,
year. He has,
we've been talking about it for a while,
yeah,
because
he's
a
he's
lot of
given
people
many
don't know
years.
about that.
Yes,
Mhm.
he's done a great job with the NJROTC, and he's going to retire this year. So we really need to get him on board. And I would also hope that we can get on board Pastor Wilkins. Pastor Wilkins is not a Norcom graduate, but he runs the barbering program at Norcom, and he has done some amazing things for our students and with our students there at IC Norcom High School.
Oh
So I hope
yeah,
that we
that's
can
the
get
guy that
Pastor
went to
Wilkins.
the graduate from the Union Seminary.
Yeah, and he went on. Yep. He took our kids up to Richmond. He's doing some great things. So I'm
Well,
hoping that we can get the two of them on the show. Um,
hopefully we can get a few of them, maybe Keita and some of those people on one of our evening.
yes,
We
yes,
still want to do the evening shows, but not on a regular basis, but when we
right,
have a
right.
special thing, and have a few of those people like them that are involved in activities you don't really hear about a
You don't
lot,
hear about.
because
Hmm.
uh, that program is good, especially if the kids are going to go to Norfolk State or college, and get in their ROTC program,
Hmm.
because the opportunities that opens up for students, you know,
Hmm.
to be able to go into the military, or go, you know, to have a career there, is huge, and get there and not have the debt as far as going to school, because the
Exactly,
military will pay for all of that. So
exactly,
yeah, so we work on that. Less young could be a part of that. You have a
exactly.
few of them that are
Hmm.
involved there, along with
And,
the
and, and,
principal,
and,
if she wants to
and-
come on.
right, and we would not negate some of the great things that are going on at Manor and at Churchland as well. And we will seek out those individuals who are at Manor and Churchland who are making a difference in the lives of our students. So we'll
Right.
seek them out as well and get them on some of these programs as well.
Yeah, the whole Portsmouth school system needs to
Exactly,
be
exactly.
recognized, because a lot of those kids, they go away to college, but a lot of them come back, and we need that. We
Mm,
need them to come back, and
yes, because
not all of them come back, but a
yes.
good significant number of them come back and fill in where we left off.
Mm-hmm. And one such person will be Janari Davis over at Norfolk State University. We need to get that young man. He did amazing things when he was at Norcom High School, and he's gone on to do some even fantastic things while he's at Norfolk State University.
Yeah, usually
Yeah,
when they're involved in high school like that, it carries over into,
it does.
and
It does.
their freshman year, they jump right into doing
Yes,
things. So
yes,
that's why
yes.
you want them to be active in high school so they can hit the ground running when they go to
Mm-hmm.
college, because
Exactly.
that helps them later on in life. That
Mm-hmm.
showed how involved they were in college. Uh, companies look at that.
I agree. Yeah, if we
Yeah,
can get them on some of those evening programs, whichever ones we plan, it would be great. And of course, Black Child Development, they would like to come back on, but they like to come back on an evening show if possible as well.
yeah,
Talk
yeah. I
about some of the things
did
they're doing.
contact her. I forgot about she was an evening person because
Yeah, she's
was
an evening
asking
person.
she did she want to come today, but she said
Right.
evening. So
Yes, yeah,
I
she's an
said, oh,
evening
that's right.
person. Uh-huh. Yeah, so we
So
can do that.
that's all in the future for Portsmouth Coffee Talk.
Yeah,
We always always wanted to have some students up here because most people don't get a chance to listen to the students or talk to the students, but
exactly.
they have some very strong opinions on what's going on. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when we were coming up, they would tell us grown folks talking, so go stand in
Mm-hmm.
the corner or something like that, or go outside and play. But we need to listen to the college students as well as the high school students. If you give them an opportunity to speak, you'll be very impressed in how much they're paying attention and what
Exactly.
they see and they're watching us. Like we always
Mm-hmm.
say, when we have council people that are acting ugly, say, "Look, our students are watching you,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
keep that in mind." Uh,
And please keep it in mind. They are
yes,
watching you,
indeed.
believe me.
Yes,
Watching every
indeed.
move you make.
Yeah. So hopefully we can give them a voice as well. But anyway, we want to thank everybody. Let me hit this little sign again. Want to thank everybody for watching today and tune in next week. For Pastor Corey Brooks is his name, and you'll
Rooftop
see,
pastor.
huh?
I said a rooftop pastor.
Rooftop Pastor. So it's probably be very interesting. So you'll see the promotions for it. So make sure you tune in and have your comments and questions for him. If you agree with him or disagree, it'll be the time to sort of really listen to him and see where he's coming from. But
Right.
glad he agreed to come on, and he's kind of excited about coming on. So we're excited to have somebody from Chicago on Portsmouth Coffee Talk. So
And th-
anything
and
else you
that
wanted to add before we go?
and that date, of course, will be on the what is that? Is that
The
the 24th, just before
20,
Thanksgiving? Okay. No,
24th.
25th.
Yeah.
25th, just before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Looking at it. Yep. So right before, so hopefully you'll be able to watch it and digest your food. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think it'll be a good conversation, an informative conversation, whether we agree with everything or not. But
Exactly.
one thing I can agree with what I've seen on the surface, what he's been doing in Chicago to help the underserved communities, and whatever money he's raising with this walk across America. So we'll learn
And I'm
all about that.
and that's
But thanks again.
and that's a
Huh?
commitment. If you say you're
That,
walking from what New York to California, that's a commitment. That's a commitment.
yeah, and you start in the winter, in the
Oh
fall, in the
no,
winter.
no,
That's a commitment,
more than a
you know.
commitment. That's for sure.
But I'll be watching from here. I'll be watching from Portsmouth.
You and me
All right,
too.
Lil, thanks a lot. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everybody for watching today. And make sure you watch the Slim and Shona show tomorrow night. We have a guest that was on Portsmouth Coffee Talk, but this being National Adoption Month, and we're having Tracy Hewitt Hobson. She was on before, and she's
Hmm.
Afro Korean, and she has actually moved to Korea. So she
Mm,
will be on the show tomorrow night at 7 from Korea. It'll be Wednesday morning in Korea when she comes on to talk about she's still searching for her roots over there and just trying to find out as much as she can about her family. She was born in Korea, adopted over here. She was a former Portsmouth resident. Went to Manor High School and Virginia Union, and lives in California. And she has a very, very interesting story to tell about her adoption and growing up looking Korean in a black neighborhood, in an
mm,
African
mm.
American neighborhood, and being accepted, not being accepted by some blacks, and not being accepted
That's
by
awesome. Hmm.
her Korean,
Yes.
some of her Korean family. So
Uh-huh.
tune in tomorrow night, Slimmy Shona show at 7 p.m. Uh, we'll see you there.
Thank you,
And
Slim.
tomorrow night is it tomorrow? The alumni meeting.
Oh, yes, alumni meeting is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in the library. We will be electing officers on tomorrow night, and you have to be a paid member in order to vote. So,
To
you
vote
know, try
or
to pay
be
your
an
dues.
officer,
Yeah,
and give
or if you want to be an
give.
officer, you have to be a paid member. So,
Yeah, you can't slip in there, not pay your dues. But give the
exactly.
date just in case somebody watches this later, and
November
so they'll know
18th.
it's
Yeah,
either
November
hasn't
18th.
happened or it's already happened.
November 18th at 7 p.m. in the library at IC Norcom High School. And we will be on Zoom for those individuals who have paid their dues. And we have their email addresses. Those who are out of town, they can still join us on Zoom. They're paid members who we have their email address, they can get on Zoom. So
Yes.
please join us. And we cannot continue to do what we do for the students and for the faculty at Norcom without your opinion. $25, we can't do very much for $25. So we need your help.
I,
It's
I,
getting to
I
the
was going to
time where
say,
you need to have some declarations for your IRS. Put us down, put Norcom down. We're a tax deductible organization. So put us down to give a donation to IC Norcom High School Alumni
yeah,
Association.
imagine all those people that were at the tailgate paid
If
$25.
if they pay $5, James, if they pay
You never
$5,
have
man,
to have another
we
fundraiser.
we never have to have a fundraiser again.
You
So
just give those scholarships to the students. And for
exactly.
what I mentioned about tomorrow night, let me give the date too. The date is November the 18th on a Tuesday night. So if you see this after that, you can go and watch it on our YouTube channel later. So tomorrow, Tuesday on the 18th, November the 18th, Slim and Shona show, and the
And
18th for
Norcom
the
alumni
IC
meeting.
Norcom alumni meeting
Yes.
in offices.
It,
So
quite
will
often.
you continue to be president, or that remains to be
Hey,
seen?
if someone wants to run, hey, God bless you. God
Mm.
bless you. Believe me. God bless you.
So how long have you been?
Oh my
I know we're
God.
going over time, but how long have you
I,
been?
I looked
Because
back the other day. The first time I was an officer was back in the 80s.
wow,
And so now, but recently, this is my one, two, three, I think it's going to my fourth year recently, but I've had many times in between that, between 80 and now as well. So
yeah, I'm looking
it's
at
been
the
quite a few
souvenir
years.
booklet and all the different past presidents. As a matter of fact, are the souvenir booklets still for sale?
Souvenir booklets are still for sale, $15. And I must apologize to Ray Smith. Ray Anthony Smith's name was left off as one of our former presidents. as well as Kim Johnson, who was the teacher of the year between the two teachers of the years that we have in the book. We
Hmm.
did not have Kim in there, Kim Johnson as well. And Kim, we do apologize to you also for not having you in there. But it was a first time adventure for us, and we will take our time and perfect that and try to keep those publications going with updated information on what's taking place at IC Norcom High School as we keep the history of the school and the legacy alive, you know. So we're also trying to get the statue up of Mr. Norcom on the school ground. We're selling
That's going
bricks.
to be significant. So how's that? How can people help with that?
You can purchase bricks which will go around the statue, and those bricks will be the money raised from the bricks also will help to pay for the statue, and we're also looking for corporate sponsors as well. So, and you know, and also, Jay, I know we're over time, but in
Now, go ahead.
December, they're going to start breaking up the field at IC Norcom High School because they're redoing the stadium, the baseball field, the football field, the track field. So next year, of course, we will not be able to have our homecoming game at IC Norcom High School. So I know that Les Young is putting some things in place for us, but next year we would not have homecoming at IC Norcom because it would be under renovation. The field would be under renovation.
Okay, so and that's great. Norcom, will it be some of that same thing going on at the other high schools, or
I
do
think they've
or
already completed
they
it. If I'm not
they
mistaken,
already have
I think
that?
they've already completed it at the other schools. If not, each school is up for renovation
Oh,
of the
okay,
football field, track field, and the um, baseball field. So yeah, we're
yeah,
looking for some great things to take place at the school as well. So
yeah, and I hope it involved the tennis court too, because that
oh,
looks.
definitely that whole field area there. They're coming in to redo all of that.
And remember to support the other high schools in the city of Portsmouth as well. The
Exactly,
Manor High
exactly.
School, Churchland High School. We need to support them. And Woodrow Wilson has a alumni that they started up a few years back too. So
Yeah,
we
Rodrika and I,
need
we work closely together.
to
She is the
check into
president.
that.
Yeah, she's the president of Wilson's Alumni Association, but she's also an associate member of IC Norcom High School Alumni
Okay.
Association. So we thank her for that. And I need to get my associate with Wilson in order to but she has been very instrumental also in supporting IC Norcom High School. So we appreciate her for that. And I worked with
Yeah,
her and
I
her
was kind of
team.
glad to see another school start there
Yeah,
because
yeah,
a lot of times you don't have a choice where you went, but wherever you went, you should be just as proud of that
exactly.
as the Greyhounds are proud to be, uh, uh, alums of IC Norcom. So, and that's why I was glad to see Wilson doing what they're doing,
Yeah,
as far as putting together alumni association together because they had some good years there too.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Well, I worked with her, James, on helping her to get her alumni association up and
Yeah,
running.
yeah, I remember you
So it's a
really,
good thing, and we work well
yeah,
together as well. We
yeah.
work well together. It's not a
So support
competition; it's about supporting each other. We only have competition when it comes to sports. Once
when it
sports is
comes to
over,
sports
once
and
sports is over, we need to come together and we need to work together in order to make
and
it
the
better for
last
all.
thing is, do you know do we have a debate team or have we revised the
It's not a
debate team
debate
or is
team. I
that
think
something?
it's some type of a challenge bowl, a knowledge challenge bowl. Because I know that they just recently won against Booker T. So I forget what
So
they call it.
it's
Yeah,
some kind of program where
yes,
they
for
are debating
for the
like that.
intellectuals. Yes,
Okay,
definitely
it's
so.
not all sports now.
It's
Come
not
on,
all sports. Yes,
let's
yes. And and James, I know we got to go, but we got to reach out to our Booker T family because I know they're going through a struggle now. Before there were 115 historically black high schools in Virginia. We're now down to three, which is Armstrong, Norcom, and Booker T. And it looks like Booker T is heading in the direction of the fate of those other schools who are no longer in existence. So
I know Norfolk School Board was closing some other
Yeah,
schools,
yeah, yeah.
and they get ready to spend a lot of money to at Maury High.
Mm-hmm.
So that money had to come from somewhere.
Come
So they
from
have to eliminate some things in order
right,
to,
right.
do what they're going to do at Maury High. So
I know Booker T's
I didn't
fighting.
know that Booker T was in. They
Yeah,
need to fight
it's
for
in
that.
jeopardy. I understand it's in jeopardy. So maybe we can get them on to talk about that. I know Yvonne Wagner is very strongly involved in that. So maybe we need to get them on to talk about what's going to be the fate of Booker T High School.
Yeah, I'll be glad to have some up there. Maybe because maybe some of the people that attended Booker T. Washington High School don't realize, that that's a possibility. And if
Exactly.
they know about it,
Exactly.
they can do like we do over here, fighting.
I told her, I said
You know,
every 30 years we face closing in the 60s, in the 80s, in the 90s,
70s. Yeah,
in the 70s. So you gotta have your I mean, we've been through it in order to maintain IC Norcom High School. So yes, definitely we need to get them on board to talk about what's taking place with Booker T. Washington High School in Norfolk.
yeah, because our rivalry with them is over 60 years old.
Over 60 years old, that's for sure.
So it you know we can't lose that. Okay,
No,
so yeah, so we got. I'll make note of all of that, so we can fill these shows up with some of these things that we talked about tonight, and
exactly.
along with talking about the daily political
Right,
game
right,
that's out
right,
there
right.
every day. Trump
But I'll
keeps
get in
us.
touch with Miss Wagner and see if we can get her and her team to come on to talk about what's taking place with Booker T. Washington High School.
Yes, yes, indeed. That's going to be important. All right, everybody, we going for real this time, and thanks for hanging in there with us as we just babbled on about the different things. But this is what we do here. We just coming back, and we want to make sure that we keep a presence here on Portsmouth Coffee Talk as we go forward, and we look forward to some great programming in coming up in the future, and in and out this year and starting next year. So hang in there with us, and we'll see you. Take care, and remember to be aware, be informed, and most of all, be involved. Take care. We'll see you
Amen.
next time. See you,
See you,
Leah.
James. Take care.
Be our guest on the Portsmouth